Hey, everybody. Keith from CryptoCoinMindSet. Appreciate you being here today. And I'm fortunate today to have DeeperNaut in the house, who is going to be talking to us about the Deeper Network. So welcome, sir. Appreciate having you here.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. It's good to be here.
Yeah. Well, listen, Deeper Network is one of the DPIM projects that I have on my Crypto on the Rocks every Friday night that the community can vote to put into my crypto portfolio. So I thought project because obviously they need somebody much more knowledgeable than me to tell them about that. So take it away. Tell them what you need to tell them, a little bit about you at least to start, and then we can go from there.
Okay, so my name's John. I have the website and the YouTube thing going on for DeeperNaut.space. And I got into the project when I saw a YouTube video from somebody else. Can't remember who it actually was. And I got into it and I thought it was really good. I thought, a DPN, decentralized, there's no records, there's no logs. And that was what we always wanted, because ExpressVPN, NordVPN, all those different ones, a lot of them say they don't have logs, but a lot of them do. And I thought that was really, really cool. I thought, I want that. And then it was subscription free as well. So I thought, you get it once and you've got it for life. And yeah, and I thought it was great. So I bought one and I thought it was fantastic. It wasn't perfect. This is like 2 years ago. But it was getting better all the time. And there's a lot of things in the pipeline to mine and make money with it. So then I thought, well, hang on a minute. The token price was at the time 10 cents. So if I had 10 of these, then I could make a good sized chunk,
Yeah.
So I bought 10 of them, and then I bought another 10, and then I was giving them to friends and family, and I was staking them, and I was rolling profits over all the time. And eventually I had a lot. I've got 50 now, all fully staked to tier 8. I'm a validation node as well, so I make, it's like at the minute it's 1300 DPR per day, just for having that. And yeah, it's going really, really well. The project itself, it's a bit of a weird one. The communication has never been great. A lot of people in the project will say, it's not fantastic, but I think Deeper Network, they know what they've got, and I think they know where it's going. So communication and updates on the actual project are kind of on the back seat. They're not really that driven about it, because they know what the project is capable of. They know what's in the pipeline, and they're just kind of working through it. And they think, well, the project is so good, it's going to speak for itself. Word of mouth, things will happen. So yeah, there's a lot in the pipeline. First off, I do have to say that I know about this, but I don't represent them. Deeper Network, we have a really good relationship. I get a lot of information about them, but yeah, I don't actually work for them. They don't pay me except for my little code that you can use in the store, and that is it. Yeah. So
well, I'm gonna guess that you probably have a good connection with the team itself, and as far as I'm aware, you're in communication with them very often, right? I mean,
yeah.
So you're getting, I guess you're kind of getting the information almost firsthand, if you would.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite good. Eric Ma, who's the chief evangelist, he basically he's the bridge between basically the management team and Eric Ma. He's really good when you speak to him. You can ask him anything you want, and it works. He'll, if he doesn't know it, he'll go away and get it. And I find that the management and the communication structure is really good. However, the tweets are a little bit plain. It doesn't give you any like meat on the bones. It's very vague. They do keep a lot of things behind wraps. Like they don't like to overshare things. The biggest revelation we had recently was the Solana move. I mean, that was obviously huge news.
Yeah, when you said that on the Matrix Money podcast, I was like very surprised.
Yeah. When I actually got a phone call. I was in a yard because I actually drive for a full-time job. And I was on a break, and I got a text from Eric Mike says, "Can I call?" And I went, "Yeah." I thought if I said something, which I'm going to get wrong or something. And but no, he phoned me up and he basically told me, he goes, look, we're going to move over to Solana. Don't tell anybody, but we're going to do it. And then obviously later on we got the official release news, and I was blown away. I was completely blown away by it. Yeah, but that is a hugely great step. There's a lot of really good things with Deeper Network, which is coming. The app is the next big thing, and that is going to be really big. They've been really clever about it. The app, from when it first got released to like test, it's moved on in leaps and bounds, and it looks really nice now. Really nice.
Can I ask a quick question? If you
Sure.
know,
Yeah.
with regard to the app, is that going to then allow the app to work as a device? Do you see what I'm saying? Or are you still
Yeah.
going to buy the device?
Okay, so there's basically two routes. Judging from the app, from what I've seen, you will basically get if you don't have a device itself, you'll get a 7-day free trial. After that, you can then you can subscribe, and you can pay for it with your credit or debit card, and that will in the background burn DPR, which obviously is great for the actual coin itself. And the other method is if you already have a device, or if you buy one, if you've got a mini or Air or whatever, you can bind the device to your account, and then that will give you the app for free. So, if you do if you own the device at home, however, that's it. Yeah. So if you have a mini, say, which is what you would have at home, you can input the number from that into the app, and it will then unlock the app, so you get it for free as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, that could be subject to change, but I don't think it is. I think that is what they're going to go with. And obviously, if you don't have a device, you just want to pay for it, well, you can. And it'll be basically, you'll pay for it using your credit or debit card, then it will purchase DPR. So it'll all be done in the background. That DPR, or a portion of that DPR, will then be burnt, and then that will purchase EZC, which is then used to pay for the app. EZC is going to be the new stable coin. I think it's 1 EZC is a cent, I think. Yeah. And that's going to be one of the mechanisms in which to burn DPR and hopefully get it so it grows and it climbs. We've had, token price, it's gone down. Yeah, so you can see there, it basically went up to, it went at 10 cents for a while. And then it kind of went down and down and down. And then the whole Ukraine-Russia thing went off, and it just tanked along with everything else. And today we're up a little bit, but what we really need is utility for the coin.
Yes.
A lot of people who are into crypto, that they always go, oh, it's on sale, it's a sleeping giant, buy it now, and stuff like that, but I personally think that this is, I don't really want to give financial advice,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of this coin, but thank you very much. Yeah, but I think once the app comes out and the burns are here, it's going to go up. I had a conversation with Deeper today, actually, and they basically said, look, if I'm going on this, do you have any information that I can kind of release? And he basically said, well, nothing new. However, the app is like full steam ahead. We're getting that done, and we're getting it done quick. The Solana migration is still ongoing. That's going to be a big thing, but they're working really hard on that.
I was going to ask if you had any update about that.
I think the current state of play is looking at the bi-monthly report. So the app is coming very, very soon. The EZC token is, I think it's either done or it's going to be developed. Solana, the bridge is finished. So the bridge is completely done. And that will assist the migration of DPR from the Deeper chain to Solana. But the multi-chain bridge is also done as well. So what that will do is it won't just convert the Solana, sorry, the DPR from the chain to Solana chain, it will actually convert tasks. So if you have a project that is based on, say, the Ethereum chain, and you want it to all interact, and you want their Web3 devices, because they've got 175,000 nodes, and you want all them to take part and solve equations and use that power for whatever project, be that a Hive Mapper type deal, where it's solving all the AI stuff, or a Planet Watch type thing. I don't know if they're still around or not. I haven't looked into them. Where all that information needs to be processed. They've basically come out and said that it will be any chain. So if you have a project on any chain at all, so the BSC chain, it'll be able to speak to the project and use the Web3 infrastructure and the nodes on the Solana chain. So all the chains will be able to basically use these, which is pretty cool. And the mechanism for that is done. So
it's done, but it's not like out for public consumption yet. Is that the deal?
You can get Solana-based DPR if you like. I've got 2,500, which I did as like a test. So you can get it. However, I always say to just wait until it's official, but no, the rewards are still paid on the deeper chain, which obviously you need to bridge to then cash out. That would be the next step, I think. I think the next step would be the liquidity is transferred across, and then the rewards are paid out on the actual chain itself. So yeah.
Now, I this may be a stupid question, but after that migration over to Solana, is that still going to be the case? Is it going to be paid on the Deeper Network chain and then moved over every time you do that, or is it going to be no? That's it. Now we're completely on Solana.
Okay, so this is what I actually asked. I actually went to them. I said, look, because there was something that was a little bit vague in what I read. So I got in touch with them and I said, look, you've been a bit vague here. What is the actual deal with this? And they said, no. Everything is going to go from the deeper chain to Solana chain. So everything is going to be moved across. So the tasks.
So everything's going to move. The whole thing will function on Solana.
Exactly. Yeah, it'll be completely. That is it. Solana.
Okay.
So that is really, really good, because I was a bit concerned if they told us that they were going to move over to Solana. However, what they really meant was like there would be another level, and it would be like a man in the middle, and I was like, I don't really want that. I want a full Solana deal. But no, they came back and they said, yeah, it's the whole thing is going to move. So that is fantastic, and I'm hoping when it does go to Solana. I mean, all of these like meme coins, like Dog with Hat and Joe Borden and I don't know, all those ones. I mean, they do really well, and they're putting the deeper coin to shame when they, when this actually has a use case. It has there's a company behind it. There's distribution centers all over the world. There's devices that use it. It's got a future. It's part of a Web3 infrastructure. And yet these meme coins are kind of like, it just doesn't make sense to me at all. I hope that does well. I mean, Hive Mapper, they're on Solana as well, and it's a very similar thing with them, because they've obviously got the actual dash cams and stuff, and they've done quite well. I mean, they're currently sitting, I think, 6 cents or something, and they pumped up to 25 cents in like a matter of 48 hours, and it was fast. And I mean, if this does that, I mean, I'm done.
Oh, I know. That's sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that would be pretty cool.
So just to nutshell it, I guess, for the people who might be watching Crypto on the Rocks, who are following along with what I do with the DCA portfolio, and they see the DCA into Deeper Network, or they're voting to potentially do that DCA. Should they do it now or should they wait? What do you think?
Well, I wouldn't want to give financial advice, of course, Keith.
Okay, yeah,
but I personally think it's not going to get much lower than what
yeah.
it
Well,
is
I'll put
now.
that up on the screen. So
Yeah, great. Personally, I don't think it's going to go much lower than what it is now. I think once the app comes out, it will, at the very least, it'll like level off. Um, Especially if the app does well, if they really push it, which I think they will. And a lot of people sign up and they pay for it, and there's that burn. I think DPR will kind of level off, and then hopefully we'll get a slight increase. And then when Solana comes in, it could just moon.
yeah, I know the sky's the limit, and that's
Yeah.
why I'm at. Well, it was more the reason I asked wasn't so much like price action, number go up like with Bitcoin, not so much like that.
Yeah.
More the idea of okay, ease of use, ease of storage, ease of whatever with regard to DPN.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean the issue at the minute is that DeeperChain was good, and they started off, it was like a privacy thing, it was their own little thing. But the problem is it's not really compatible with everything else. It was hard to buy it. Exchanges didn't want it because it was they would have to code it themselves. They'd have to actually put it on the website because it's a brand new chain, and that was like a massive stop point for them. I mean, when we hit Solana, I mean, obviously Solana, you can mint a coin in like 5 minutes. It's really easy, and it's cheap as well.
Right.
So, I mean, by Binance, Coinbase, all those places, I think DPR will eventually be on those, but only when we hit Solana. So I think it would make sense to stockpile now. I've got a lot of devices and I make quite a lot per day, so I don't need to buy it. But if I was looking for a long term hold, then yeah, I'd probably, if I had the money, I'd probably get a 100K at least. You know, not $100,000 worth, but
I was
100K.
gonna say a small bag, but maybe that's not such a small bag.
Oh yeah. I think 100,000 would be about $400. I think a million would be $4,000. So a million would be better, but you know, yeah.
Well, ultimately, a lot of these now I know right now we're talking more about the token and a little bit about tokenomics here and the migration, and that's great. But I mean, for me, a lot of what I try to show people when I do these DCA portfolios is also think long term. And when I say long term, I'm thinking project long term. Not just the asset that surrounds the project. And can we transition to that a little bit? Maybe you can give your insight about what you see this transition being and maybe its long-term potential.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I quite like actually. I'm a big fan of people. I think that you should have a right to kind of do what you want online, as long as it's not, there's a very fine line between the legality of it. If you give everybody complete free control, they're going to do stuff which they shouldn't be doing. But there's a trade-off. The other alternative is that you have control. ISPs can see what you're doing. You might get the knock from the door from the police because you said something online, which is ridiculous. But that's the way it is now.
And you see that all the time on reports all the time.
Absolutely. And Deeper Network, they've got a lot in the pipeline. And what is really strange from a project point of view is that they're aiming towards that completely 100% anonymous, free online thing. And it's not just a project which is for me and you. It's a B2B. So it's for it's a Web3 a Web3 infrastructure project as a whole. It's not just about a DPN. It's not just about the files. It's not just about web hosts. And that is the big part of it. However, for me and you, we're more focused on what can they do for us. So the DPN side of it is obviously a big part of it. I use mine all the time. It's actually on full route all the time because I like to have everything just hidden because I've got nothing to hide. However, that's the old. If you've got nothing to hide, then why not just not use a VPN? It's like, well, that's not the point. you know.
You're exactly. It's not the point.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
exactly. So the whole DPN thing is fantastic and it works really well. They've done really, really well. We also have the app relocator, which is obviously to save money, which I've used, and it obviously unrestricts websites in which you can go on to as well. If you download movies and things, I mean, obviously you shouldn't do it. It might be illegal where you live, but then it might not be. And obviously it allows you to do that too. Moving forward though, we also have the Deeper Pro, which is the encrypted file store. So you can, it's going to basically be like a NAS where you can store things, and it'll be stored in other NASs around the world. And that will all go through the DPN2. So you could store files which nobody can actually get into. And that's what I mean about the very fine line, because
So
people
is
are going
this
to...
like a cloud storage thing? Am I understanding that right?
Similar, yeah. So basically it's going to be like it's going to be a box, and there's going to be 2 hard drives in it from the information that I've seen. And you're going to store files on there. So if I have a film, say, right, and I store that on that box, well, that file, that film MPEG or whatever, is going to be completely encrypted. Can't access it, because Deeper has its own file system as well. So it's going to be really hard to retrieve that. But also, once you put that file on there, it will also be stored in other places around the world. So if that unit gets removed or seized or destroyed or whatever, you still have your files. And then because you have that, other people will be able to store it as well. And that will open up the whole, you can subscribe and buy space. So like you have Drive, P, Cloud and stuff, you'll be able to have that. However, this will be 100% secure, and it'll be basically foolproof, because you'll be able to store, say if you've got like a collection of films that you've downloaded and you want to keep them, well, okay, you can put them on this thing at home, and if anything ever happens, well, it's fine, because you can just log back into your account and it's someplace else, you know.
Sure.
And that will also be a subscription kind of thing as well, so people will be able to pay for that. The framework is done for it, or it's almost done. The renders I've seen are pretty cool, but they're not the final product. And yeah, that is something that's going to be really good. But
It sounds like there's a crap ton of work going on in the background over there.
oh yeah, I mean, if you read the actual bi-monthly report and you read the actual what they've done, they're going full steam ahead. And with the Deeper Pro and the whole file sharing thingy, they're also aiming towards web hosts as well. So can you imagine if you have a website, let's say WikiLeaks, right, or a website like that, and you want to host a site, but the site itself is a little bit sketchy because governments might not like it. Maybe you live in a place where you're not allowed to have a website that talks crap about the government or something. Well, you'll be able to host the website as well, and you won't be able to take it down because it'll be in 5 different places on 5 different devices, and it'll be all online. They won't be able to find out where those files are. Yeah, so in regards to the Deeper Pro, so we're going to have the web hosting part of it as well. So, for example, the website that I have, I've had to buy the domain name, so that's like £12 a month, and I store the files on another guy's computer. And obviously, when you go to the website, it will send all the files. Yep, so all of the files that make that website run are on this other computer somewhere else. Okay, and if there was something on there which the government didn't like, so like perhaps I made a video where I said something which wasn't illegal but wasn't really a nice thing to say, they could go on there and say, right, we want this website gone. Okay, and the company, of course, they're going to either say yes or no. If they say yes, well, the website's gone, but I can make up another one.
Right.
If they say no, then they might get punished. They might get leaned on. The domain name, if they remove the domain name, the website's gone because the domain name's gone. So what Deeper Network are looking to do as well is with the web hosts, with the Deeper Pro, is your files, so the wallpaper I have on there, the logo, all of the videos, they will be hosted on the Deeper Pros, and I would imagine, I mean, there must be a Web3 domain thing going on. You know how you have like .eth, you get the Web3 names that can
Yes.
point to places. So I don't know, maybe they might have a domain name which is DeeperNaut.dpr, perhaps, and with that, that's it, because you won't be able to remove the domain name and you won't be able to remove the files. So that is, what I hope will work. But that is a long way off. What else? There's that. There's the social media aspect as well. They talked about this a long time ago. They were going to release their own, so you'll be able to have like a social media account. That website,
that would be huge.
Yeah,
That
website
would be
and all the communications would all be through the DPN, and you'll probably be able to say literally whatever you want, I would imagine, which is fine. And what
And
else?
I would assume that'd be easier. You hear about Twitter trying to integrate payments all the time, this, that, and the other thing. I would assume that would be an easy integration in that scenario, right?
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, as soon as something like that goes live, so as soon as the platform goes on and people go on it and they start saying things, governments will try to muscle in on it and say, you can't say that. And then they'll report to Deeper. And if Deeper play it correctly and they go, well, look, we're not registered in wherever you are. It's all online. There's nothing we can do. So go, if they do that, then that could be big, because people will think, well, this really is, it's like free, So
okay, can I play devil's advocate for a second?
I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say it, and I'm sure you're right.
Sure.
We again, people who watch my channel know I am not a Solana fan. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's going to do well. It's got a lot of good backing, but all things being equal, that's a kind of centralized blockchain.
Yeah.
So does that really play to what you're talking about in this, decentralized future?
It's a good point. And I think I remember last time you said that, I said I was going to chase it up, and I did email Eric Ma about that. So I'll chase him up again. But
I don't mean to put you on the spot again.
No, it's fine. So I mean, Solana, yeah, it is more centralized than Deeper Chain. Deeper Chain was always meant to be their own little thing, They could control what went on, and everything is going to move over to Solana. Maybe it'll be a fork. I don't think it will be. I think it'll be truly a Solana. Well, no, it's going to be a fork. It has to be a fork. Yeah, I'm not really sure. That is something that we're going to have to look at. Deeper is privacy first. I don't think they're going to do anything which would kind of cause an issue. I think they would really batten it down,
Well, and assuming Solana decided to try and do something like that, yeah, it wouldn't be good, I don't think, for the chain overall. Yeah, you know what I mean? It would just be because, okay, it's like anything else. It's kind of like, the government today with the SWIFT system. Well, we're just going to take Russia's shit. Well, okay.
Oh,
so again, if they can do that, if they can do that to Deeper, why can't they do that to pick a project that's moving onto Solana?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not too sure. I mean, I would like to think that Deeper, when they were actually thinking about this, that they really dotted the I's, crossed the T's, and they actually really looked into it. Deeper is
I would like to think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Deeper is a really secure thing. We had an issue a while back where this guy basically went on Twitter and he said, "Oh, you know, I've hacked your devices and all this, blah blah blah," and he didn't. But what he basically did was he was trying to foot it to drop the price, and it actually had in his bio, we specialize in shorts and stuff like that. So he was basically, you know, he was trying to crash the price, and the stuff he was saying was bollocks. However, Russell, who is the big guy in charge, he's the guy who does all the programming and stuff. He went into the Discord, which is quite rare, and he basically said, you know, and he sat there for ages, and he said, no, it's bollocks. You know, it is completely secure. It's just a guy trying to FUD, and yeah, and nothing came of that in the end. There's a lot of threats made, but none of those came true because it was just crap. So
Right. Right. It was just, some idiot. Yeah.
yeah,
Basically, in a
yeah,
nutshell.
but it caused a lot of issues because people were like, "Well, hang on a minute," you know, and no matter how many times you say to them, "Look, just take a step back and just think about it. Could you pull off what he's doing?" You know, and
Right. Right.
you know,
Right.
yeah, and also there's what else have we got coming? There's an encrypted chat as well, which is apparently coming. There are encrypted chats out there already. A
Yes.
lot of them are compromised, but I mean, I think what's WhatsApp. I think they have access to. I think the governments have access to that. Telegram, I'm not so sure about. They might have access to that.
I'm going to go with yes. I wouldn't put
Yes,
anything.
yeah. Yeah, they wouldn't leave that going. Yeah, so if Deeper can pull that off too, where they can have a chat app which is truly private, like completely private, then brilliant. You know, that would be another thing. Even if they made it free, because people will download the app and then they might download the DPN app, and then they might pay for that, and that will then give like a burn for that as well. So yeah,
That will help facilitate that. Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
absolutely.
I get it.
What else? God, so we have the Deeper Connect Lite, which is coming as well, and that's basically like imagine the Deeper Connect Mini, but it's a lot smaller, and the speeds are quite low. So this is the Deeper Connect Pico Lite, which they've obviously changed the name a bit. So this device isn't actually out yet. This website here, this is their official store. However, you're not meant to be able to see this. It's not on their website yet to be actually seen, but the link is there. So what it basically is it's going to be a really cheap way to get a device where it's not going to break the bank. So for example, the transfer speeds on this, I think, is 100 megabits per second, which is slow. You know, it's not a quick thing. However, it is it's going to be really cheap, and the reason why it's going to be really cheap is so that we can get more and more nodes out there, so that it's so people who live in, like, say, places where they don't have a lot of money, so South America, maybe in India, the Philippines, you know, where the actual wages are quite low, they might be able to actually afford this, and then that will bring up a lot of nodes in those places. I'm just trying to, yeah, so you get the device, you get the Wi-Fi adapter, power adapter, network cable, yeah, and the instruction guide.
Now,
And sorry, go
could
on.
could I ask a question real quick? Oh,
Yeah.
wait, that ain't gonna work. A quick question. Where you're showing this about the connection, and you're mentioning about it being affordable for places that are, low income, that kind of thing. A lot of those places may only have access to Wi-Fi. Will this be able to kind of work that way, or does it have to be a hardwired thing?
Yeah, sure. So on here you can see you have four different modes. So you have the mode where you use the actual Ethernet leads. So that would be no Wi-Fi at all. Okay, but obviously it would go from your modem here into your
Oh, I see the
router.
other one now. I didn't see that originally. Okay, I
Yeah,
see.
and then you have this one here. So you would be talking about mode 2. But also, if you only have say Wi-Fi, maybe you live in like an apartment block or something, You don't have direct access to the router itself, so you can basically use it like this. Basically, the antenna which you get with this, let's see, the antenna here.
Yes.
Yep. It's not just a normal Wi-Fi antenna, so it can basically connect to Wi-Fi, but it can also broadcast to hotspot as well. So
Oh,
what will
okay.
happen is you will plug it in, you'll power it up, and then you will say, right, my Wi-Fi connection, the one that I use now, is this, and then this device will connect to that, but then it'll create a brand new hotspot as well at the same time. So you'll have your device here, which will have your encrypted Wi-Fi, and then you'll obviously have your Wi-Fi. So you would then change the connection on your laptop or your phone to this new one, and
Wow.
that way you
I was
wouldn't
going to
actually
say, so
need.
it's like having two of them.
Yeah, so you would have, so it would basically copy the Wi-Fi that you already have, except it'll go through this instead.
Yes.
So it'll pass through the 7-layer firewall, the deep packet inspection, all that stuff, the ad blocking and stuff. And this is how the devices used to be used in the past. The Air is now out, and I'll just come back on Air, Deeper Air. So this is the Deeper Connect Air, which is really cool. And trying to get it
Gotcha.
backwards.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
perfect. See it.
yeah. So that is the Air, which basically you just plug into any type C port, and there's two antennas. Got to get
Yep.
used to that. And one will broadcast a new hotspot, and the other one
Can see
will
that.
receive the original one, and then it obviously passes through in the middle, and you get a Wi-Fi which is protected. Yeah. So that is pretty much it. The device is really cool. The token hopefully will do well soon. There's a lot of things in the pipeline which are coming, which they're not. I mean, they're doing a lot in the like. They're really going ahead with it. They're really working hard, but it's not a fast thing. A lot of people they get impatient with the lack of physical things that come out. They'll ask about
Right.
something and it won't happen, and they'll be like, "Well, are you guys doing anything at all?" It's like, well, yes, they are, but it's a lot of stuff in the background.
Well, that's so funny. You saying that leads me. Well, I got two questions, and
Mm,
one of them is, hold on. I'm just going to make a quick note so I forget the second question there. But the first question relates back to what you were just talking about, the devices. When they transition over to Solana, that's
mhm.
not going to, and I'm asking this question. I think I know the answer, but I'm asking because I don't know about anybody else wanting to ask this
Sure.
question that are going to
Yeah.
be watching. There's not going to need to be a changeover of devices, I'm
No,
assuming,
no,
or anything
no, no,
like that.
no. So I would imagine the devices will, because basically the devices themselves, all of the chain interactions, basically all this device does is it reads stuff from the chain. So the wallet address, it'll then go online. It'll say, right, this is the wallet address. How much DPR is in there? What is the staking level and stuff like that. The whole deep DPN aspect of it, it's not really chain based. There's a little bit of it. However, things like the staking, the mining, the wallet addresses, all these devices do is they go and fetch the information from the chain. So, for example, if you've got a wallet, your device will go onto the chain and say, right, how much DPR is in this address, and then it'll just present that information to you. So I don't think the switchover will be that difficult. Where instead of going onto the deeper chain to find out what this information is, it'll just go onto the Solana chain to find out what that information is, and it'll do exactly the same thing.
Right. And it sounds like it might even just be part of the migration, depending on
Yeah,
what they're working on, right?
yeah. I personally think because we've got a wallet which is going to be added to these as well. It's coming pretty soon, where you'll be able to store Ethereum, BNB,
Oh, no
all that
kidding.
stuff. And because the device is basically it's a hardware device, I don't think you're going to be able to take the assets from it unless you're actually logged into it itself. So it's a pretty it's a really secure thing, because unless you actually have the physical device, if someone hacks your wallet, they can't then take stuff off because they're not actually connected to the physical device. That's going to be
Interesting.
really cool. Yeah, that's coming soon, and
We may have to do another interview just about that.
yeah, yeah. They're really trying to cram as much facility and utility into these. They're really trying to get it so that it's worth the money, you know, because they want to sell
Yes.
them. They want to get to 1 million nodes, which they're really going quick. And yeah, they're doing so well, and they're trying to make it so that people can save money. I mean, the whole YouTube thing. I mean, I've got YouTube, and I was paying for that. I was paying like £13 a month for that, and I think it's just gone up as well. And now I get that. I think it's like £2.20 a month. So you know, I'm saving over £10 a month, which in American is like $12 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, no,
Interesting.
12 or 14, like 70 or something a month. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is good. Huh. Okay. All right. I got to backtrack one little bit because
Okay.
you had mentioned about sometimes people say there's nothing going on and so on and so forth, even though there's obviously, as we're talking about right now, plenty going on. But a lot of things with different cryptocurrencies has a lot to do with marketing. I'm going to say that I'm sorry, they've kind of dropped the ball in the marketing department.
Yeah.
They just have, if you ask me. What do you see? Are they going to be ramping that up going forward, or are they going to be kind of relying on brand ambassadors, kind of like yourself?
Okay. There was talk of getting more guys on board, and that was quite some time ago. And as far as I'm aware, they haven't got any. Marketing wise, they do pay for ads. They do pay for Facebook ads and
Oh, they
Google
do.
sponsored ad,
Okay.
yeah, and stuff. But they're not very good at kind of pushing it. They'll basically do the ads and then that's it, you know. They do a few fairs, they've done a few talks, but yeah, they really need to push it when the app comes out. Now, what I kind of feel is going to happen is that when the app comes out, they're going to think, aha, we can make money off this. You know, if we get 100,000 people who sign up to this app and they pay $10 each a month, that's $1 million a month. I mean, that is
Oh
insane, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah,
So
that's residual income right there.
yeah, and I think the incentive is going to basically be cash at the end of the day. They're going to basically go, are we gonna miss out on a lot of money here unless we get the word out? And
Well, and it should pay for itself in theory,
yeah,
and
yeah,
more.
exactly. And I think that once the app is here, they're going to really start pushing it. And I think that when um I think when the app's here and the Solana migration's finished and they get to their million nodes, that is their like figure that they've got stuck in their heads. Once they got to get to 1 million nodes, there's no excuse to go full pelt with this.
Right.
They have the Lite come in as well, which obviously they said something. It's going to be around about the $50 mark, which is really cheap.
Well, even
That
right
could
now, some
change
of
as well.
these, yeah, even right now, I'm going to bring it back up.
Mm.
These devices are not that expensive, all things being equal. I mean, I
Yeah.
got it set here in US dollars, obviously. But even like the mini 229,
Yeah.
that's, I don't know, I don't type of stuff. And it goes all the way down here to like 149 for the mini SE.
Exactly. And you see the mini SE and the mini, it's almost exactly the same. The only difference is the max bandwidth for the Ethernet. So if you have internet, I mean my broadband here, it's only 169 megabits per second, which is fine for me. I don't want to pay for any more for that because that's that's quick enough. Now I have a mini, but I could have bought a mini SE and there would
Yep.
be no change in the speed because they're both above what my actual internet is. So if you've only got an internet speed of, I don't know, 150, then there's no point spending the extra money on the Mini when you could buy the Mini SE, and you'll save yourself, cash there.
Yep. And
Yeah.
and now could you just talk about really quick the Connect Air? Because wasn't that the one that Jar said in our last interview he uses when he goes to like hotels and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yeah. So the DeeperConnect Air, I'll show it again for you. It's just there. There you go. Right. So this is the DeeperConnect Air. It's basically a Type C port. So you plug it into you can plug it into your iPad. You can plug it into your laptop, your Android phone, whatever. You can also plug it into the wall. You can plug it into a smart telly if you wanted to. As long as it has power, it's fine. And I mean, it's just great. Honestly, it's super light. It's reliable. The first ones that we got given for the unboxing videos got really hot. That was a negative, but they actually worked on that and they changed it, and now they get nowhere near as hot. They get they get warm, but it's not a problem. And yeah, I mean, it's literally you can connect to the hotel Wi-Fi. There's no real loss in speed if you use the DPN. Depending on what kind of tunnel you get, you might get a little bit of a loss in speed. But I mean, I used mine on full route all the time, and I don't really see anything. I play games on it and stuff, and I don't have
Well,
any
it's
issues.
right. When he was talking about being able to use that, like when he's traveling or whatever, I mean that's like huge. I
Yeah,
can't stand using like the hotel Wi-Fi or whatever like that.
yeah,
Even using a VPN and a firewall on the computer, or it's still, I don't know, something about it just is like, yeah, you don't want to do it. So
exactly. Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. So I appreciate you talking a little bit about that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean it's something which because I'm actually doing a course soon, and I'm traveling down south, and it's going to be like a week on, then a weekend off, then a week on, and you can bet your ass I'm going to take this because I'm not going to connect my phone and my
Yes.
laptop or anything to this. I mean to the whole hotel Wi-Fi, because I was involved in security before, like many years ago, and I've done man in the middle hacks, and it's so easy to do. I mean, it's incredibly easy. I could sit in a hotel room, and depending on where I am in that hotel room, honestly, it's easy.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
don't even want to think about it. It just
yeah. I mean, I remember there was an app called, what was it called? It's called FaceNif or something. And basically, what it was, you would open it up on your phone, and it would hijack Facebook cookies that were on the Wi-Fi network that you were on. So if you had your phone in your pocket and you went to a bar and you connect
yep.
to the Wi-Fi, if Facebook is logged on your phone, which it is all the
Sure.
time, my phone would then capture the cookies and the cache from the session, so I could just log straight into your Facebook. And it's been patched now, so it's gone. The app is no more. This was like 2010, I think. But yeah, you could just walk into a bar, and then you walk out of the bar, and you've got like 20 people's Facebook, and you can just log into any single one
Yeah, boom,
of
you're
them.
good to go.
Yeah.
You're good to go. Wow, I didn't know about that, but that's that, I'm gonna
Scary.
it happened to me once. At all places, I was there. My wife was in the hospital for a period of time, and so I was like there for an extended period, and I really needed to get work done online.
Mm.
And oh boy, that was probably the worst thing I ever did. That was it. That was the worst thing I ever did. I won't get into details, but let's just
Okay.
say, when it was all said and done, I just literally trashed the computer and got another computer. It was that bad. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? It was
Yeah.
horrible.
Wow.
Real
Crazy.
horrible.
And that was right. So was that actually in the hospital itself? So somebody was in the hospital doing that. Wow. What a bastard. Hey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. You think, okay, everybody's in the hospital with other things to do beside
Yeah.
being dealing with that, but like,
Exactly.
yeah, no.
And he's just sat there with a little antenna, hijacking people's internet and
And just
sniffing
exactly,
passwords. Wow.
exactly
Of all the
in the
places,
hospital.
Mm.
I mean, Yeah. Bottom line is, it taught me a valuable lesson. I'll just leave it at that. So
Yeah. Well, actually,
you know,
while you're there, I don't know if this will work. I'm going to basically try and bring up the Deeper Network app if it works. I'm going
okay.
to let's
All
hopefully
right.
this will work. Right. So
Yeah, that's pretty good. Not bad.
yeah. So at the top there, you've got Get VIP. You can choose between Smart Route. That just curved my phone.
Yeah.
And you've got the DNS filter, the ad filter. You've got you've got the map now, which shows where the nodes are and the ones that you're actually on. And you won't be able to see, but you've got 106,000 nodes which are actually there. I'm connected to 51 nodes, and you've got the ads blocker, tunnels, the app relocator as well. So
Oh,
you
there we go.
you get the league pass, the NBC Sports, ABC, HBO Max, and you can basically tell.
Wow.
So I could basically set my phone to the US and watch all
Yep.
the US only stuff. And yeah, the app is fantastic. It looked really basic when it first came out, and it was buggy, and but it worked, and it was super quick.
There's something to be said for keep it simple, stupid. You know, because
Yeah.
some of us are not smart. I'm just, as I just share with my hospital story.
Yeah, I remember I went to see a show, and somebody texted me and said, "Oh, the app's out. You can get it now." So I downloaded the app, and I did a speed test, and I was in like a 5G place at the time.
Yep.
So I had my phone out, did a speed test, and it was something like 600 megabits per second. And I thought, for a VPN and or a DVPN, that is fast.
VPN. Yep.
Yeah, that is unbelievably quick. And I was like, this is it. You know, this if they pull this app off, and we're getting those speeds, I mean, that's one hell of a app. You know, yeah,
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand the current status of the network, the more nodes on the network, the faster the network. Yes?
mm, mm,
If I'm wrong, tell me. It's okay.
yeah. So
I might be misunderstanding a little bit.
yeah, so basically the speed that you get is dependent on the upload speed of the node that you're on. So say if you had a device and I connected to you, and your upload speed was 10 megabits, okay?
Okay.
That would be the maximum download speed that I could actually get. If you had a one gig fiber optic thing, and you were getting 200 megabits of an upload speed, then my download speed would be 200
Would be the
megabits.
200. Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
because you're going to pass information back to me,
I got you.
and obviously I would have to you'd have to upload it to me, then I would download it from you, but it's capped by your upload speed because you can only pass information so quick. Um,
Okay.
the more nodes thing in the future, that might be a case, because I think personally they're going to start to split the loads. So you won't just pick. So say if you connect to the USA, okay, you won't just go from say me to you. It might be me to like six other guys, and then the actual information will then be split. So I'll get the download speeds of all six of those guides. You know, I
Oh.
think that's what's going to happen, but it might already be here. I don't know what's going on under the hood. The security aspect of this is pretty hush hush.
Yeah, yeah.
They do have a thing called IP multiplexing, which I don't really know what it is, but that is part of their whole thing. And yeah, I mean, I basically use mine at the minute on full route in Ukraine, and I download stuff all the time. I get pretty good speeds. The lag in regards to games, because I actually play like the odd little game here and there. I don't really have time, but when I do, it doesn't jerk or jump or anything. That might be because of the type of game. You know, if I was playing a
Yeah,
first
that's
person shooter, it might be different, but you know,
gotcha. the reason that I asked that was thinking about the app as you were explaining it, being like that might be the case with the app. If you'd like to help to increase that, you see what I'm saying? So I was kind of thinking there would be some flex back and forth there, and that would be a benefit to using the app.
Well, yeah. So the app on here says I'm now connected to 51 nodes. So is my information that I'm trying to retrieve, is that going to be split between those people? Because if it is, that is a lot of different connections serving data to me. So that would be a really fast thing. So there is going to be a new mode on the app and the devices called game mode. It's called game mode or something, or gaming mode. Okay. And what that will basically do is it will select the best node for games. So it'll be the quickest node. It'll be the one for
the best speeds.
Yeah, and the ping will be the lowest. And that is a effort to try and stop people complaining about lag. So when they want to play on a server, say if they're in the EU, they want to play on a US server, but they can't. So they use the VPN, but it's too laggy. That is what they brought in to kind of deal with that. So fingers crossed it works. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you for putting out a lot of valuable information. I think we could probably keep going, but then this would be like a 2-hour video.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't actually get into the whole DApps or the NPOW side of it as well. I mean, that's like another thing, but that'd take an extra 20 minutes or so. So,
Yeah, exactly. Well, if you got anything, last minute things you want to throw out, by all means. If not, we will wrap this puppy up.
Okay. Well, I'll just say thanks for the invite. I appreciate it. And Deeper Network is going places. The problem with it being the east and west divide, the communication always isn't out there, and the information isn't really pushed in your face much. But they are doing a lot of stuff. If you read the information which they do provide, and it's very obscure, but if you find it, it's good. And yeah, just it's basically a long-term hold. Watch this space. And hopefully they'll do extremely well. They'll fly off. Everybody will have one of these in their homes, which would be really nice. And that is it. It'll do well. So
fair enough. Well, again, for those who are new to this or just watching this particular interview and you haven't really checked out my channel, obviously, please like and subscribe. But make sure you join me 7 p.m. Eastern time on Fridays, pretty much every Friday, for Crypto on the Rocks. Right now, this last half of 2024, the Deeper Network is one of the options that you can vote for to see if we're going to dollar cost average into. And after this interview, if you ask me, this is definitely a long-term hold. And that's what I try to show you with taking, just as little as $25 a week, putting it into cryptocurrency and holding it for the long term to change your entire family's wealth strategy. Thank you again. And hopefully we'll be able to have you back soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd be glad. It'd be great. Thanks.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you again soon.
Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.